Welcome to Hi, everybody. Welcome to Podwatcher. I'm Shane Madej.
I'm Ryan.
That's Ryan Bergara. We got sad mustache man, poor mustache
man, Matt Rial.
Man, Matt Rial.
That's right.
On the ones and twos. This is a show. This is the official podcast of Watcher.
That's right.
We kick back. We bro down. We get dirty.
You're just reverting back to the old intro that you didn't like.
Well, I don't have it memorized.
I need you to record that. Maybe you can do it today.
Saying that. Can I do it today?
How many episodes
you gotta
are we
put down a beat though?
No.
So that it's in tempo.
I want to use this.
Should we try?
Yeah. All right.
Oh my
Okay.
God. How many episodes are we going to start with an intro where we talk about we need an intro?
Search worms.
All right. I'm gonna give you the 1, 2, 3, and then on the fourth one, that'll be when you go. Okay.
Now, don't forget when I say nose soap apple, you guys have
Sorry.
Podwatcher.
Yeah, we normally fail you on that.
Okay.
I go nose soap
Yeah.
apple, and then you go Podwatcher.
Gotcha.
Nose soap apple. Podwatcher.
Do you want us to say
I
it
don't
like
have
that?
to do
like pod, like hot
no,
pocket?
yell it like you Podwatcher.
Okay.
You know. What up, you dirty worms? Hang on tight, because the Watcher boys are coming, and I think they just might have a lot to say on this podcast they call Podwatcher, baby, that you started to play. Brian, Steven, and Nasty Shane too, and producer Captain Maddie on the ones and twos. Oh, it's close.
It's a little short. Yeah.
It's
No, because
close.
then we have to do nose soap apple.
You caught yourself too. It was a little off at the beginning, and
Yeah, you figured.
Yeah,
it.
the tempo was slower than I typically
That was
do
good.
it.
That's not like when someone is off tempo on karaoke and they just abandon ship usually, but you stayed with it.
Yeah,
I respect it.
I did karaoke this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah.
How fast did that bar clear?
No, it was a private room. Karaoke Max. Have you been to Max Karaoke?
Oh, I've heard about
a
that.
classic in LA. I haven't been there in about 10 years. Last time I was there was for a BuzzFeed hour.
I've never been there before 12 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
It's always like the last idea.
Yeah, it is. Like, wouldn't it be funny if we did karaoke?
Yeah.
They have big alcoholic blue drinks there called fish balls.
Okay.
Oh.
Pretty.
That sounds like a rough morning.
No, it wasn't that bad. I only had one. The karaoke catalog there runs deep. And I was like, when it comes to a private room like that, and maybe this is selfish, but I'm like, let me try out some stuff here.
You gotta, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You know, I did some stuff where I was like, people don't even know this. Actually, Madej did Dustland Fairy Tale,
What is Dustland Fairy Tale?
the Killer's song.
Yeah, it's a really good song.
It's one of the many like
Fairy Tale.
one of the great Killers songs that is better than their singles. They've got so many songs that are better
It's like
than
the proto Killers song. It's like
Oh.
everything he says in all the songs, he says it once here.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's got sort of his whole psyche on display for you.
That's fun.
And I did One Headlight, which wasn't
Bob Dylan's son.
yeah, of course. And
Did you do the Bob Dylan voice?
well, it's Jacob Dylan, so it's more it would be funny to do
It's
that
his
in the
Whoa.
the Wallflowers. That's Jacob Dylan. And then I did, which was a real hit, Macy Gray.
Oh, which song?
I mean, what other songs?
I try.
I try.
Isn't there like? There's another one.
If
Isn't
she
there?
got, I mean,
some other
of
songs.
course she has other songs. I only really know that one.
You want to hear some fucking wild shit?
You got Macy Gray trivia?
Yes.
Okay, new segment. Macy Gray trivia.
Macy Gray Trivia.
Oh shit.
Brought to you by
Macy Gray.
Macy Gray.
By Macy's.
Macy.
Natalie Renee McIntyre, known professionally as Macy Gray.
Wait,
Was-
really? That's
Oh,
a stage name? Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's I
That
mean, it
wasn't even
sounds
part of
like
the
one.
interesting one.
What?
It didn't sound like one to me.
From Canton, Ohio, home
How
of
about that?
cozy country. What is it? Home of country
Comfort
cones.
cones. Comfort cones or something?
Country cones.
Country cones. There you go.
Home of country cones and the George Special. Rest in peace.
That was a divisive episode, the TJ episode.
It really was.
There was some people in the comments. I saw this. I've never seen this sort of toxicity in the comments, but I want
Yeah.
to call it out. Some
Okay.
people who said, I've never seen more beta
Energy.
people in my entire big beta energy.
Mm.
And I gotta say, yes,
Yeah,
you're
sure.
right.
Call
You
him.
know?
I'm Big Beta Bergara.
We're not alpha out here.
You should look around more.
Writing
That was my
comments.
response to that.
What'd you say?
You should look around more. There's a lot of us out there.
yeah, there's a lot of betas out there.
I
And
don't
we're-
think we'd be the king of the betas either. Yeah, like
you don't think so? I think we're alpha betas. You don't think we're alpha betas?
I'm not offended by myself being called that. I think a lot of people use that as like a a man who's in touch with his feelings. And like they said that because we were talking our feelings out with friends.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry, brother.
Any dude that goes to therapy.
You're a pussy.
Yeah, dude. What, are you going to fucking cry about it?
I sobbed a couple days ago. I was telling Ryan this.
At the comments?
No. No, Sarah and I, as I've mentioned, we've been reading David Copperfield back and forth.
Oh, sure.
You got to specify that.
Spoilers for David Copperfield. If you haven't read it, it's not a big shock. It's a very old novel, but his mother dies at a certain point, and we got to that chapter, and it was my turn to read it out loud. And Charles Dickens, I mean, you think about A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And like that story is so potent. And it works because you believe the transformation, especially when you like see like a movie version of it where the transformation is so well acted, and you're just like, well, the root of it is his writing, which is just like it really tugs at the heartstrings. So to then have to read a chapter about a child finding out that his mother dies suddenly, and is like, it's a short chapter, but like halfway through it, I was just reading and my voice just started to like tremble a little bit. And then by like 2/3 of the way through the chapter, my face was just wet with tears. And I was just like trying to read through it. Sarah was also crying, but I was just like, I didn't anticipate that I would have to like try to like keep it together through this. Just, man. I haven't read a ton of Dickens. He's really good. He's quite good.
What's interesting is when I read aloud, it's hard for me to internalize something if I'm reading it for the first time.
You dissociate.
Yeah,
I reading it aloud, I think makes it more visceral than if I were just reading it to myself. I don't know that I would have sobbed or
I'm
cried.
with you, Ryan. I think
it's not even because of like the source material. I think it's because I've done so much like narration stuff that I'm like so concentrated on the cadence.
Yeah, I think it is different when you're just reading for enjoyment, though.
Maybe
with each other, you know.
Yeah. When I was in high school, when I was in middle school, wherever you read
aloud to the class,
I was always the one that would be picked because I had the ability to read ahead and know exactly what I was saying, and I would not trip up.
Yes.
And I like took it as like a challenge.
Me too.
Yeah.
And I would get so angry if I did trip up. I'd be like, oh, fuck.
But in doing that, if it's the comprehension goes out the window.
No, and that's actually why
I don't know what I just
I'm a pretty bad cold reader.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like acting, that's why I don't like doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do book make you cry ever?
Oh, when was the last time I cried?
Or what most recent movie made you cry? That's a good question.
My answer is
too.
extremely
I want to know.
One of Them Days, starring Keke Palmer.
I have that on deck to watch it shortly. I'm very excited.
It was I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a particular moment that like the issue is obviously it's a comedy, so it's like a nice positive ending. But we saw it amidst like all of the LA fires. It's very LA.
Yeah.
It's very like it's a love letter to LA, and it was just so cool. Near the end to be like, I fucking love LA, man.
Yeah.
I love LA and I love the people
lovely.
that lived here. So I just cheered up, and there's some other elements of it that I think are very nice. So
Ebert had an old article back in the day about like little moments in movies that aren't necessarily like, grand, sweeping, emotionally written scenes.
Yeah.
So much as like a character does like a little kindness, or there's some sort of intentional kindness in it that just like overwhelms you.
Oh, sure.
I think he cited like the end of Fargo when
the eggs.
Marge's husband is like, she's complimenting
Margie.
his little stamp like thing that isn't he illustrating a stamp for like the stamp competition?
You gotta eat, Margie. You gotta eat.
Is that the guy from Zodiac?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
He's also great in Crazy Stupid Love. Yeah, he's the dad of the girl.
He's also Drew Carey's brother.
That's right.
In the Drew Carey show.
Oh, I was like, what?
Ryan, when's the last time you cried in a movie?
I was just thinking that. I'm trying to remember.
Wicket?
Was it Wicket?
No, definitely not Wicked.
Not definitely.
I loved Wicked, but like I could see what people
see it again. Watch it again.
Maybe there was that part. Maybe I got close in this. There was a part in The Substance where Demi Moore is looking at herself in the. She's trying to get ready for the date.
Oh, an affecting scene.
And she just can't put something together to go on this date. That was tough to watch. I think I cried during that part.
Especially with the big Sue billboard just omnipresent the whole time, staring through.
Well,
the
it was more
window.
just like she was just like excited that there was somebody who valued her at her current state, and then she just couldn't bring herself to show up, and that got to me.
Yeah. E.T. in particular,
that movie destroys me.
I never cried at that whole movie. I'm with the peril and everything, but the one thing that gets me is when I have to like think about it slightly is when spoiler alert for E.T. he's about to go home. And then he just goes, ouch. He points to his heart.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about it right now.
I got goosebumps.
Just because he's communicating in a language that he's trying to understand. He knows that it hurts. And that tells you this hurts. And when I'm told here that when things hurt, I say, ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, dude,
it's crazy, man.
I was just listening to that soundtrack yesterday.
We're not beating the beta allegations at all.
I was just
Escape the Chase Goodbye has that part. Also, I'll be right here. I have that written on one of my shoes. Because that's what he says. After that, that movie destroys me. It's like a top
incredible movie. Blank Check is. I'm a big fan of the Blank Check podcast. They're doing early Spielberg right now.
Oh, dude, if they do, I can't wait to listen to the ET episode.
It's this week. I was listening to it on the way.
It's
to and from the ghost hunt.
It's already out.
Yeah, it came out this week.
I'm gonna listen to it tomorrow on the way to our ghost hunt.
Yeah,
it's good.
We just got back from a ghost hunt yesterday. We can't talk about a lot of it, but it was a very eventful one. Crazy place. The basement in that place.
Oh my God, dude.
Man.
It was maybe one of the scariest places we've been.
It was like some Buffalo Bill shit.
Yeah.
I really did not. It's pretty rare for me to be in a location and be like, ugh.
Dude, Shane did not look. That was the first time I've actually seen you scared.
I wasn't necessarily scared so much as similar to St. Ignatius from like the vibes here are no good. And you know what? One day we'll talk about it.
All right.
One day we'll talk about when some time has passed.
Also, you really truly did look shocked that I went down to that basement by myself.
I didn't know it was in your. Yeah, I didn't know it was in your challenges. So I didn't. I thought we were safe from the basement.
That was fucked up.
Yeah, I would not go down there myself. I don't know.
I didn't like it. No. I didn't like it at all.
And we got 2 more ghost hunts this week.
Yeah, it's gonna be very fun.
I hope so.
I've had a blast this season.
I am too. Sometimes when we're out there, I'm like, why am I doing this? But I've had that since like 2 years into doing it, since like 2018.
You had it since the first season, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So I still have a good time. And every time I have that thought, I'm like, I've had this thought.
But it is nice that we're shooting half of the season in SoCal. So we're able to sleep in our own beds.
It's nice.
Be with our wives.
So it's fairly unexplored.
Our own wives, is that what you said?
Be with our wives.
Oh, be with our own wives.
It's an unexplored region.
There's no own in there.
Sleep in our own beds, be with our own wives.
Be with our wives.
But yeah, it's a nice week. My puppet history, it's on YouTube right now. It's coming out.
It's great. You guys should check it out. Shane went nuts on the lore this season.
But I'm largely done with that.
That's amazing.
And it's a great relief.
I can't imagine.
To be done. Basically, after the holidays up until last week, it was just a real gauntlet. But
shout out to our post team as well. They're also putting up extended episodes on Watcher TV.
Yeah.
In particular, Sam Young. Shout out to Sam Young.
Yeah. And Charlie Clay edited this whole season. Charlie has been with Watcher for a very long time. And we worked with back at BuzzFeed a bunch. And Charlie edited every episode of
she did a great job.
Puppet History this season.
You said it's the first time it's happened here? Potentially?
First time somebody's helmed an entire
season?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It has to be because no one's ever done that for Ghost Files.
And Charlie is like just such a master.
She's just got it down.
Yeah, she's so good.
Wow. Big shouts.
Oh.
It gets wacky. I highly recommend you don't look at spoilers.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. You went to a monster truck rally this weekend.
I did.
Where was that?
That was in Anaheim. Mari wanted to go to Monster Jam for Valentine's Day, so we went to Monster Jam. And because she's very into just investigating subcultures. And she was like, she likes when we're very much like a fish out of water, and the people there knew the drivers and the car stats and all that stuff. And we were just kind of like, yeah. And she had read that we needed ear protection because it's so loud. So she bought us ear protection. And to be fair, when all the monster trucks came out, there was like, I think like 10 of them. And they came out and they were revving their engines. I was like, I'm very thankful I have this ear protection. But then after that, it was just one truck at a time and it was fine. But there was a moment when we were watching it and I just, you ever been like at a sporting event and you're so focused on like the event, but then for some reason you're like, let me just kind of check out my surroundings, see who's around me, everything.
Sure.
And I looked around and I quickly clocked that the only people that were wearing ear protection were children.
Yeah.
And the person next to me had a child who was on their shoulders and he had ear protection on, but they were light up ears.
Yeah.
Like the kids have on their Skechers and their shoes.
But wait, so were you wearing like full
air traffic control?
And I thought you just had like earplugs. There were probably people with earplugs.
Everyone had the air traffic control. The kids did.
Yeah, but I'm saying there were probably adults who had earplugs in here and there.
I didn't see any of them.
Well, because they're tiny.
I mean, they're still orange and stick out. Like they were selling orange.
Not always. Some of them look like flesh.
But yeah, I was like, oh man, when we got peer pressured into taking those years off.
Did you know my brother went to Monster Jam a few weeks ago with his son?
It's crazy.
You saw Gravedigger?
I did see Gravedigger.
What's Gravedigger?
He's like the guy there.
Do they have like a big?
But now his son is insane. Son of a
Gravedigger.
Son of a digger. Son of a digger.
The original Gravedigger driver, and this is something I learned then. But the Monster Jam website is extremely comprehensive.
Yeah,
they have which drivers you're going to see, which cars you're going to see.
Is there?
And then they go back and then name the points in there.
Do they like compete?
They do. So there's a race as the first round. The second round is a skills challenge where they have to do a certain amount of tricks, and then the third round is freestyle. And we were seeing them do some crazy things. Like, I don't know how they control these cars like that.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Do they crush small cars?
No, it's not like that.
Oh.
That's like a destruction derby. But the son of Gravedigger, son of a digger, was just swept the entire thing.
Wow.
That dude was, and they were like, what's funny is because it's kind of like a smaller-ish sport, they are basically their own hype men.
That's pretty cool.
So like after the race, they'll go and grab the mic, which is over the PA system. Yeah. And they're like wrestlers, like WWE, like, I'm going to crush the competition.
Do any of them have like costumes or sort of
all have
a look?
Yeah, all of their cars have.
Do,
yeah, all the
trucks
cars
do.
Let me show you
about that.
Oh, yeah. But they just wear their fire suits or whatever. So yeah, you saw Son of a Digger, that's Ryan Anderson. And then the original Gravedigger.
We saw him.
Was driven by Adam Anderson. And then when my brother saw them in South Carolina, it was Kristen Anderson, who's a daughter. So it's this whole family affair. And there's
cool.
all of these. There are non-Anderson drivers who drive Gravedigger, but
there was 4 father-son pairs competing, I believe.
It's a big family event.
And also Sparkle Rocket, I think that's her name.
Sparkle Smash.
Mari wanted to see her.
Kayla Blood.
Because she's like just like a badass female driver.
Let me show you Sparkle.
And she actually, there was a controversy when I was there. Now that I think about it, there was something wrong with their computer system that they judged to see when someone crosses the finish line first. And
whoa, Sparkle Smash looks fun. It's like a little unicorn truck.
Clearly beat the other truck. Everyone knew it. And she was racing El Toro Loco.
Oh,
wow, these cars are so cool.
And
you should see the Kraken.
And they said El Toro Loco won, and then they had to restart the race later in the bracket, which was
wow.
Like they're like, we made a mistake. We're gonna have them redo the race, and everyone was like, she already won though. And then she ended up losing the re-race.
Whoa, these cars are so sick.
Yeah, that's the Kraken. Also, the Megalodon car was really crazy.
The Kraken sort of has,
Megalodon
it's a Kraken.
Too.
It's got a big squid on the car.
My nephew was hoping to see Megalodon, but he did not race there.
Megalodon is a cool car.
Do they ever do that thing like in cartoons where there is like a giant robot dinosaur that like eats cars?
Now that is more of a destruction derby. Like
but does that exist is my question.
Probably.
Like a Truckosaurus? Is that what they call it?
Can't recall.
Giant robot that eats cars?
There's a
well, I'm fine.
The coolest.
You want me to find that giant robot?
The coolest car was there was one that looked like a big dog, and that was
Big Dog.
It almost looked like it was like something mutt. It was
Scooby Doo, huh?
It looked kind of like
Monster Mutt.
Yeah, dude. It kind of looked like a Monster Jam version of the car from Dumb and Dumber.
Let me find.
That's funny,
and it was awesome.
I like that.
That was my favorite one.
Yeah, Monster Mutt's funny. I have to find a picture of Monster Mutt. I know a little bit too much about this.
I remember in my youth going up to.
I knew nothing about this. I walked in completely blind. Mari knew some of it.
That is funny. That does look like a dog.
It's so good, little tail, and I like its teeth.
I remember being at a destruction derby in my youth, and that was really fun. It was at either the Illinois or Wisconsin State Fair, or it was a county fair of some kind, maybe a Kane County Fair or something, Cook County Fair. But just a bunch of cars in a ring just beating the shit out of each other.
That sounds fun.
It was really fun.
Megasaurus, the car-eating, fire-breathing transformer. There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them? Oh, man, that's what I got to see. I want to see that.
This is the $2 million fire-breathing robot eats cars.
I'm going to drive the world's only Robosaurus.
Whoa!
Oh, I've seen this.
It's worth $2 million. It's as heavy as 25 cars. It spits flames. It eats cars. Let's do this.
I've seen that robot thing in person. It was
have?
It was at Life is Beautiful.
Eating cars?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm sure they go, hey, we have this $2 million robot.
Yeah.
Would anybody like to pay for it?
Yeah.
It's not as impressive as the Dragon Phantasmic, which exploded, by the way. But.
Robosaurus
Wait, what?
and Megasaurus.
Wait, did you not see that?
Yeah, the head exploded.
The head exploded. And it caught on fire, and it's ruined. It's no longer.
Wait, when?
This happened, I don't know, 2-3 years ago.
Its head exploded?
It's like a 25-foot dragon that shoots fire in
the one in
Phantasmic.
Disneyland?
Yeah,
or in
and its head
Disney
exploded.
World? Oh.
And it's crazy, dude.
The one in Disney World is still trucking though, right?
Yeah, but that one wasn't a giant
Not as good?
animatronic. This
Well,
was
I
like
want to see its head explode.
All right, I gotcha.
It's crazy, dude.
Sorry to turn this into
For your amusement.
For your amusement.
I got him.
Oh, its head is on fire. This is like when Notre Dame burned down.
Just like that.
There's a
my god!
one of the crazy parts is there is some cast member who runs out there and with a fire extinguisher.
Isn't it Mickey, or did I make that up?
I think it might be.
The dragon's head is fully on fire. If Mickey runs out with a fire extinguisher, I will scream.
And like, see the fire dropping onto its belly.
Yeah,
that's hot.
Oh my god, this is devastating. I encourage all our listeners to look this up.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
I'd say so. Due to the fact that our fire dragon's head exploded.
I can't believe you didn't walk into the office as like a day of mourning after this happened.
I was sad. Murphy the Dragon. Damn, bro.
Whoa, this is fucking crazy, man.
It's fully on fire.
That's not. I cannot believe I did not. I have not heard a single thing about this until now.
The thing about it too is that it's on a platform that moves it underground, but because it was on fire,
they can't.
The platform
take
broke
it down,
so they couldn't hide what was happening from the public
Well, they also
view.
wouldn't want to bring a fireball down there.
No,
Right.
but I mean, like they couldn't do anything to cover up the scene.
Jesus Christ!
Shout out to WDW News Today.
That's crazy.
I'm assuming that's Walt Disney World.
It's all fully engulfed in flames.
It's wild, dude.
How did I not know about this?
It's crazy.
Speaking of news.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Oh,
Jack the Ripper.
They found him.
I saw the other people.
It's not for sure yet, though.
No.
Here's the thing. Every time these come up, it's always like, you guys got to do a thing about it. But I feel like they post updates like this like 3 times a year. It's always like, well, they really got him this time.
This
and then
one
someone
is-
else is like, no, I don't believe that.
This one is somewhat close because the guy who's claiming that he found it, he bought a scarf at an auction that was...
Oh, good for him.
Well, the scarf was taken off the body of Catherine Eddowes, which was one of the Jack the Ripper victims. And it's claimed that the DNA taken from that is linked to one of these suspects. However, there are people that are saying that the sequencing of the DNA or just the actual authenticity of it is like a lot to be questioned.
It's the thing.
However,
I mean, there's always people who's like, this is definitive. And then there's another group of experts who are like, no.
Well, that's
It
so what they're
happens every
trying to do
time.
now where we're at is one of Catherine Eddowes is like, I think great grandchildren is doing a DNA test to then compare that to the DNA on the scarf to make sure that it is in fact from Catherine Eddowes.
That is what the news is. Yes.
Yeah.
That's why it's like new. Because this guy, Russell Edwards, had this scarf in 2007.
And
you all reported on it.
We did.
In Unsolved.
And I think when we reported on it, we were at the stage, I haven't watched our episode in a while, but I'm pretty sure we were at the stage where he was getting it tested for DNA to see if it linked to Aaron Kaminsky and one of his living relatives, which I think they said that it is for sure that.
It's a 100% match to him, I think.
It's just they need to link it to Catherine Eddowes, though, to make it for sure like this is.
Yeah, so let me run down this for you. Okay, so the news is that Jack the Ripper has been officially identified as Polish barber Aaron Kosminski, which was the third theory for you all.
Yeah, I remember the name.
Wait, it's Kosminski? I thought it was Kaminsky.
Kosminski. You say Kosminski in the thing.
Oh, interesting.
Kosminski was officially identified by a shawl bought at an auction in 2007 by Jack the Ripper author and researcher Russell Edwards. It contained DNA from both Kaminsky and Catherine Eddowes.
How much did he pay for that, you think?
Oh, a decent amount, probably.
The blood-stained shawl associated with Jack the Ripper sold for around £5,200.
That's actually not
I feel like it's cheap.
That's actually not as much as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe sickos aren't,
Yeah, really coughing up that much dough.
Give it to,
Interesting. And now he sold it for $4.5 million, or
he sold it again?
Hang on.
Well,
so in 2007, he purchased it. And then an exhaustive investigation solved the 126-year-old mystery. They're basically like saying this is the same thing that the guy said a while ago, is that it's this guy. We have DNA evidence. And now I think it's being matched more
to the Eddowes family.
The Eddowes family. Yeah, they're helping out. But it seems like it sold or was up for auction for $4.75 million.
Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
1,000x on your investment.
Yeah.
It's insane. What a weird thing to wake up one day and find out, hey, I guess my grandpa was Jack the Ripper.
Does he have relatives?
Yeah, that's what they're testing.
They're testing.
They already tested. They confirmed that it's for sure his DNA.
So Karen Miller, the 3 times great-granddaughter of Eddowes, provided her DNA to make the match identifying Kosminski as the notorious killer. Now she, Edwards, and other descendants of both Kosminski and his victims are calling for a new legal inquest. So they're all like, hey.
Yeah, fuck it, let's do it.
Dig up the skeleton.
Which
hang it.
At this point in time, at the time of this recording, we still don't have the confirmed that it is a match to Eddowes yet. So
cool.
if that's been confirmed since then, we don't know that yet.
Yeah. And the problem is, this is the issue with all of it. There's not a chain of custody for that shawl.
No, that was another thing too, was that it was like kind of loosey-goosey, yeah, in terms of like how it was kept. So,
I mean, it's touched every rich man who wanted to buy it.
Yeah, that's right. Every guy sniffed the blood on that thing to go. Bunch of weirdos.
Yeah, so it's tough to say, but
and look, I'm glad it's getting solved. It's always nice when these cold cases get solved and there's some sort of peace being given. I hope this is it. It is a little interesting though, because Kosminski is a barber, and the connection that he therefore would have surgical knowledge, which is most experts agree that Jack the Ripper had some sort of surgical knowledge to be able to cut the way he did. This guy was a barber.
Well, they called him a barber surgeon.
He called himself that.
But the barber surgeon was a common thing.
Is that why he
wrote that
the barber pole has the red stripe on it?
He went to a mental institution later in his life, and when on his intake form, he wrote barber surgeon for himself.
But what I'm saying is the barber surgeon is a phrase that is used outside of him.
Interesting. I don't think he went to medical school though, or anything like that.
The red and white stripes on a barber pole symbolize the bloody and clean bandages used during bloodletting.
Yeah, because they used to bloodlet. So that's what you are correct. They were involved in bloodletting as well as part of
what is bloodletting?
A deliberate withdrawal of blood from a patient to prevent or cure illness or disease.
Like with leeches or something?
With leeches, or by just, actually making an incision
just
and
stabbing them.
Yeah, licensed barbers used to open your
stabbing a wine barrel and drinking it.
So that's the thing, is that licensed barbers did used to do that. And around the time that he reigned, quote unquote, would be something that would have been possible. That's another reason that they're saying
that is such a grisly. backstory for those lovely candy cane looking little barber poles.
It is. I like it when stuff like that. Like I don't know if that ring around the rosy thing is actually real, but they talk about
like
that being like the plague or
whatever. Yeah, I remember that.
Pocket full of posies because you want to smell.
Yeah.
You don't want to smell of
spooky.
Yeah.
Reddit loves that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Creepypasta.
What are they saying about him over there on Reddit? Jack the Ripper. Do people think that this is it? Like,
it appears that the people who think it was it are now they're pretty certain, but the people who didn't before, because it's not like this is new.
No, it's not. It's just I think the confirmed match to Kaminsky is true.
Yes, but there was.
The confirmed match to Kaminsky. Kosminski is new. I think that's new.
Let's listen to what you all said about this.
This will be scary.
Your voice is so much higher in this.
I'm sure it is.
Suspect was Aaron Kosminski, a Polish Aaron Kosminski.
That's crazy.
He took up smoking after this.
Yeah, that's right.
And Jewish resident of Whitechapel, who spent some time in an asylum in 1889 after the last murder. Kosminski would actually reside in asylums until his death in 1919. Kosminski was known for his hatred towards women.
This is the worst.
The Ripper likely zigzagged between
I can still tell it's my voice, though.
Kosminski might be a name familiar to the public due to the fact that recently...
I wonder if I could actually make my voice sound like that. Due to his book being featured in a...
I didn't remember play.
Yeah, I have to do a voice to do that.
Entitled, quote, Naming Jack the Ripper.
So he wrote this book, Naming Jack the Ripper.
In this book, Russell Edwards claims that a shawl purchased at an auction contains DNA evidence proving Kosminski is the killer. The shawl was bought under the impression that it reportedly was found at the murder scene on the person of Catherine Eddowes, the fourth Ripper victim. Edwards enlisted the help of molecular biologist Jari Loholainen of Liverpool.
Nailed it. Nice.
I remember you.
Really nice job.
When we were doing that episode, you having to pronounce that name, and you were just really sweating over that one.
Jari Loholainen. I remember there was was it Alaska
or Iceland?
There was an Icelandic murder.
Oh, I remember
that. Tough. That one was tough.
Yeah.
Edwards and Loholainen believe the bloodstained shawl is connected to Catherine Eddowes based off of comparison from one of Eddowes' descendants. They also claim that semen on the scarf is linked to relatives of Kosminski.
Yikes.
With this discovery, many felt that the case was closed, including Edwards.
You got semen, you got blood.
Time to drag his name in the mud?
Oh, I like that. You got the semen, got the blood, drag his name on through that mud.
There you go.
My voice sounds like similar-ish there, right?
I think so.
I didn't realize my voice had changed that much, honestly.
I mean, we might be having a little bit more bass on these microphones.
Maybe.
In the lavs, in the studio.
I mean, but I've edited myself recently. I'm like, whoa, that does sound like a different person. That's interesting.
I mean, that happens. You ever listen to old musicians and they sound like
true.
The way I...
Like Justin Bieber.
Yeah, he sounded like a little boy when he first started.
singing Baby because he was a little boy.
Yeah.
You know, Shane, your voice sounds almost identical.
The same.
Well, I was older.
That's true.
You know?
Yes.
I was older.
Oh, that's true. Maybe you'd already...
I already gone through puberty.
Puberty too.
I'm still hoping it happens for me.
Piece of...
But like, you can hit that too. It might also be a thing of like, when I revisit like video or voice recordings of myself from even like the early 2010s, late 2000s, there's like a different vibe to it that I think evolves over time, especially when you're either on camera or like like you're a little more conscious of your voice. So like, I think you lose certain things about it.
That's true.
There's like a certain Illinois thing that leaves me, and you know, things change over time.
Oh, it's fun to see these framers again.
Framers, baby.
These pictures, the people with the shadowy faces.
So this was all there, basically, in the old episode. So is this a case of like, this seems to be what happens, is like, this stuff will be out there.
Yes.
And no one pays attention to it. And then one website will be like, oh, this guy said this in his book 5 years ago.
No, but this is a new development.
This is a new development.
I think this was
but it is a publication being like, this one guy thinks it's this.
Right. Yeah.
And it's and they're using sensationalist headlines to be like, oh, it's conclusive.
I think,
and then everybody like runs with it because
I think the link between the scarf and Kosminski is now conclusive.
Well, that's cool.
The Edo's link isn't conclusive.
But they had the Shaw that ultimately incriminated Kosminski, per the researcher, was taken from a scene of Catherine Edo's 1888 murder in London's Mitre Square,
Yeah.
which later came into Edwards' possession in 2007.
It's unfortunate because the Whitechapel district's a lovely place to walk
I was
around.
going to say, I have such fond memories of us bouncing around that
too.
part of town filming this episode because we recorded it all in the studio.
Yes.
Back in LA.
Yeah.
And then when we were in London, we just like bounced around and
we
got
did
a bunch
that
of B-roll.
ridiculous unsolved B-roll, which was always so funny, where back in the day with Unsolved, we needed some sort of physical B-roll for these true crime cases. So when we would actually go visit the sites, they would just get B-roll of Shane and I walking around a now modern version of Whitechapel
with flashlights.
And it would be, or sometimes it would be TJ holding a gimbal on a cell phone. Yeah. Like there's a very funny clip of you and I goofing around with TJ recording us, and he's like trying to get us to stop goofing.
Yeah.
That was in New Orleans, so that was for Axeman. But yeah, I also have very fond memories of that trip as well. Because that was also our first time we had ever traveled internationally for anything together.
Well, I mean, we did the Island of the Dolls, but
oh yeah, that's true. That was a flash.
Blur.
Yeah.
That was like a day and a half.
Yeah.
London was the first time we had been away for a while.
We've been to London 3 times.
Huh?
You and I have been to London 3 times.
Yes, because we went for VidCon.
And then we went again for the tour.
That's right. A lovely town.
It seems as though very little has changed.
It's, I like I said, it's nice to have these cold cases solved so that there's some sort of closure. That's the biggest thing.
But
does anybody need closure on this?
Right. That's my question. It's happened so long ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe focus on something else,
I don't know, I guess.
He got away with it. I feel like I stated this at some point on Unsolved, but I think if you go to the grave and you get away with it, I think we owe it to Jack the Ripper to respect the work and say, well done, sir.
So you're going to
You got us.
You think JC,
you got us.
You think God up above was like, as soon as he died, he was like slow clapping for him in a chair?
They never got him.
Well done. Well done, Jack.
Jack got up to, the St. Peter at the gates.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I just died. Let me in. And St. Peter goes, now, wait a minute. Oh, what's all this about you murdering? And Jack goes, show me the headline. Where's my name in the papers?
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, come on in.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, that's when they do the slow clap. And it's like,
Like,
come on in. Really? No, you're going to hell.
I think if you get away with it, we can't.
I have to say, Aaron the Ripper, not as much of a ring.
Not scary.
Aaron Kosminski, what would be the new name for that? Do you just abandon Jack the Ripper in total?
Interesting. That isn't really interesting. What would they do?
Because it's not, Aaron the Ripper sucks. Kosminski the Ripper, not bad.
Well, didn't he sign letters, Jack, though?
Yeah, but there's actually a lot of people that
who think the letters aren't from him.
They're just like, they were just drummed up by the newspapers to generate press. The Dear Boss letters.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe I remember some of that shit. That's fucking sad.
It's in there, man. Even after having read it with no comprehension, there's some stuff in here though where the evidence was, where the DNA evidence was weird. Like even you all were talking about it in the episode that there was an issue with like a misnaming of the DNA evidence.
The chain of custody on these old cases
it hadn't
is always
been peer reviewed.
I mean that stuff seems to happen in current times.
That's right.
And I would imagine it happened.
What was the case where there was a case where there was a
solder children?
Yes, it was the solder children. I think I can't remember if it was the mortician.
Threw a bunch of cases or like
they just threw the bones out.
Yeah.
They just threw the bones out.
Yeah. Who needs them? Oops.
Do y'all do that? Do y'all preserve stuff? I toss everything.
Bones?
I don't have any bones.
Actually, I do have some bones.
Every chicken that I eat, I save all the bones.
I have Vinny's baby teeth.
Oh, that's cool.
They're huge too because he's a big dog.
What are you talking about preserving and not preserving?
Kids' drawings, my childhood drawings. I don't keep anything.
I think I've mentioned this before, but I have sort of a foot locker, a trunk that I got when I was in college.
Is that what a foot locker is?
Yes.
Oh.
Like a kind of trunk that you would bring.
It's a foot locker. It's a locker at the. You ever play like Skyrim or a?
Yeah. No, I guess
Fallout?
I'm so used to the store. I guess I never really put it together. It's interesting.
Keep your shoes.
And I've got that full of just fun little documents.
Yeah.
Knickknacks, whatever. And I can keep it all contained in there. And if I want to get rid of stuff, I can get rid of stuff out of that.
Yeah.
But that's like my life locker full of memories.
Fireproof.
No, that'll go up like a tinderbox.
Actually, Shane, if there's one thing you could contribute to this, you are pretty good at naming things. This is your opportunity to kind of grab life by the horns here and
no.
tag it.
You can't top Jack the Ripper.
I mean, they're going to have to change it.
Aaron the Killer Guy.
Aaron the Killer.
Well, they would probably just go Aaron the Ripper.
And that sucks.
I don't know. We'll have to stew on that. I was hoping you'd have one off the cuff.
Scary Aaron.
Scaring Aaron? No. Aaron the Karen? No.
Aaron the Karen.
It's kind of like he's like an old timey Karen.
You can't be here. Stab.
Yeah. I've been getting into cart narcs recently.
I love cart
We talked
narcs.
about cart narcs.
We did on the pod. It's so good.
Cart narcs, for those of you who don't know,
Really
it's a
laughing my
YouTube
ass
channel of a guy who catches people in parking lots who don't put their carts back. And Ryan, I can see why you would love that because you, like me, you see someone litter.
Y'all hate it. I hate it so much.
It makes me want to. People need to be called out for these things.
You gotta
people
follow-
who don't use their turn signals.
Follow the rules.
You got to follow the rules. And it is very rewarding to see a channel
Yes.
that specifically calls people out because it's not even just that you're not following the rule. That specifically, you not putting your cart back into the cart corral
Yes.
is you making life difficult for everybody else in that parking lot.
But there are people that are paid to do that. Is
No,
like
no,
the biggest
no.
thing.
That is
that
not-
people say.
that is
That's
not what
that
those
doesn't
people
mean
are
you
paid to
should
do.
that.
No. Then, there's also people paid to like sweep up garbage in parking lots.
Yeah,
You're just going to throw your fucking trash on the ground.
Technically, there would be somebody paid to do that if I took a piss in the middle of the frozen section. They'd have to clean it up with a mop. Doesn't mean I'm going to go pissing all over
Exactly.
town.
There was one time I was at the store somewhat recently at the grocery store, and I
Took a piss in the frozen section?
I was like, Topo Chico was on sale.
Oh, shit. I know you jumped all over that.
Of course I
You
did.
gotta
I
grab
love it.
it.
It was the summertime. I
You're
was
Bubble
like,
Boy, dude.
ooh, they call me Bubble Boy.
That's right.
And I got this big case of Topo Chico, and I was like, oh, hell yeah,
24
this is
pack?
big. It was like a 12 cat.
Okay.
But they were the glass bottles,
Okay, that's nice.
And I had some other stuff, and I was like, I don't need a cart. And I was carrying it, and the the cardboard of the case just ripped, and the entire box just fell. All the glass shattered, and just a big pool of Topo Chico spread across the floor. There were shards of glass everywhere.
And that's thick glass.
And I just stood there, and I was like, I just kind of sidestepped out of it, and one of the employees came over, and they were like, "You need a little help here?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm really sorry about this." They were like, "Don't worry about it. We'll clean it up."
The best part of working at a grocery store is when something bad happens and then you can assure the people it's fine.
That's what it's all about.
Don't
that happened to
worry
me
about that.
recently at I forget what market it was, but I was in the produce aisle and my elbow bumped over a little plastic box of cherries.
Oh,
And they
cherries all over the
fell
ground.
over and they exploded on the ground. Some of them looked like blood, but they're all over. They're ruined. And I walked over to the employee and I was like, "I'm so sorry, I dropped these cherries. Do I have to pay for these?" And he was like, "Doesn't matter."
That's
It
very
doesn't.
sweet of you to ask about.
It happens in the store.
That's
I can't
part of
believe
it.
that they
That's
didn't
part
make
of the store.
They're insured.
Yeah,
Really?
the cherries are insured.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, no, they
Uh,
expect that. You know,
There's a certain amount of loss, unfortunately, in a
accidents happen.
accidents happen, things spoil, things don't sell.
That's wild.
It's
kinda
not
the
like
last
you're.
I guess perishables. Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's not like you're going. It's cherries. Cost however much. Like you're not.
I gave so much free shit away when I worked at the grocery store.
Oh yeah, my dad did too when he worked at the
I mean,
grocery
what you
store.
gonna do? And they didn't encourage it to do it as much as I did it, but they were like, I mean, we want to keep customers, you know?
We would always do that at Starbucks too, or like when I was at the concession stand. Like if things were kind of quiet and you were just chilling, and someone was like, "Hey, can I get?" They'd come in and you'd ask for something, you'd be like, "Yeah, whatever." Don't you just give it to them.
Yeah,
we did it all the time.
And sometimes it's like I don't want
especially if it was a regular.
I don't want you ring it up.
Yeah, that's the joy of working behind a register. Sometimes you could just be like, whatever, it's a corporation. I could give this away.
God,
yeah,
Topo
that's
Chico.
We did that in the movie theater a lot too. I remember.
Now, movie theater seems like there's no
it's a wild
inventory at
west,
all,
dude.
man.
You fucking a kernel inventory,
nuts.
dude.
Yeah, I'd walk out of the movie theater with like a garbage bag full of popcorn at the end of the night.
Yeah, that you picked up off the floor.
No, not that big up on the floor.
You said before
You did say
ate
you
it
had
off
I
the
didn't
floor.
eat it off the floor.
No, you ate it in a bag that was on a seat.
I ate a bag that was on a seat.
And people were putting their fingers in their mouth and dipping it back in the bag.
That's gross.
Well, guess what? I'm here
Somehow.
And at what cost?
and I'm strong.
All my extra popcorn that I got was sanitary.
Whatever.
Because my AMC trip.
You didn't get as
which
much
was
as
great.
me.
No, I got a garbage bag full of it all the time at
Quality.
Disneyland.
Quality.
What were you going to say when I talked about?
Oh, I got the Whirly Pop.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Popcorn update.
I got the Whirly Pop. I've made popcorn every day since getting it.
It's so good, dude. It's so good.
On Valentine's Day, Sadie we were just like, we haven't seen each other in a while. We were both traveling. We were like, let's be together. And I was like, we're going to go pick up a Whirly Pop.
Yeah.
And then we're going to come home and we're going to make popcorn and we're going to watch a movie. And we did. And it ruled.
What oil did you use?
I had to use avocado oil.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
nice.
'Cause it has a high smoke point.
I haven't popped with avocado oil.
I've popped with Avi.
I've been doing coconut oil a lot. I like coconut.
I hear coconut oil.
They say I've heard you're not supposed to use that for a pop.
Really?
I hear it's tasteless and it's odorless and it doesn't smoke.
Oh, it does. It
but
definitely does taste better. I think.
It tastes like coconut.
A tiny, the slightest hint, like how canola oil has a slight hint of like a movie theater taste.
I'm just getting
the
into
coconut
it.
oil does have a coconutty taste to it.
I haven't gotten into like the Flavacol or anything like that. No.
I dabbled with that, but I don't really use that very
Nothing
much anymore.
nothing to me better than just salt.
I mean, that's one of the
nice popcorn.
Orville Redenbacher is probably one of the few brands I would do any sort of sponsorship for free.
I agree with that.
I do it for free.
Those are the kernels that I'm using.
Of course.
I do it for free.
Yellow or white?
Yellow.
Nice.
Is there a product you would do for free, Matt?
Red Bull.
Locked and loaded.
I've thought about this quite a lot.
But is one of the I guess like parameters that you get free Red Bull?
Nah.
Really? Okay, I would still need to be getting free over
on my
Redenbacher.
Twitch, I have like Red Bull cans on the
Like an American Idol judge?
like I have like the images of Red Bull cans all over the place.
It's incredible.
Because it's funny to me.
That is funny.
I
on
bet
your
you,
game show.
Shane, you probably do Topo for free.
Probably Burt's Bees.
Oh,
You've done Burt's Bees for free.
We
essentially.
have done Burt's Bees for free.
I'm
yeah.
always doing Burt's Bees for free. I've got it in my
I
phone.
think about the products in my life that I'm like the Arctis Nova Pro wireless headphones, which are
Interesting.
extremely expensive.
Yeah.
But I've gotten actual people in my life to buy those because they're incredible.
Have you ever deviated? Have you ever gone Monster or Rockstar?
Sometimes AMC doesn't have Red Bull, and sometimes on occasion I'll get like the white Monster.
Do you think you could blind taste test identify Red Bull from Monster and Rockstar?
easily.
Oh,
If they
yeah,
have
they
the same
taste
flavor.
different.
No,
Interesting. I feel like they taste pretty similar.
nah.
I kind of want to do that for you. I want to make you do that.
I would crush it. I could tell you the difference between
Yeah.
Red
That's like
Bull
when we-
sugar-free, Red Bull sugar-full.
So
any
when
Monster.
people ask if you can taste the difference between Pepsi and Coke.
easily.
Oh, easily I could do that.
Yeah.
I did a video back in BuzzFeed, speaking of BuzzFeed, called the blind water taste test. And I was seeing if people could identify water. A lot of people were identifying, I believe, from my recollection, were able to identify Arrowhead.
Oh, wow. I couldn't do that.
I can identify my father's water.
It was good. I finally had
Make
it.
sure you tried some
on
of my
tour.
father's water. Yeah.
It's not his. He goes to a well.
He goes to
In
a
the
secret
forest.
well in Chicago. Yeah.
That's true. And we're not making that up. That's not
That's very
embellishment.
good. That's very good.
I would do an ad for Chipotle.
Oh, I mean,
Okay. Yeah, I was going to ask
I would for
this.
sure do Chipotle
I was
for
going
free.
to, okay. I mean, I've got a question.
But I would like
If
I would
I
like
got
a kickback.
lifetime
I've got
Chipotle.
I've got a question for both of
I
you.
would like a kickback.
Would you get a tattoo that guaranteed you free product for the rest of your life. If you got a Chipotle tattoo on your chest.
Yes. Oh, wait, on my chest?
Across your chest.
Yeah, like a burrito?
Now
nip,
that's actually
nip to nip.
That's actually pretty
Does it say
smart.
Chipotle or does it say like this is like a wrapped burrito?
It says Chipotle.
Is it the new font or the old font?
The old font.
Okay, that changes it a little bit, but I still wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't.
No, but I like
but
the
For
old
free
font.
Chipotle for the rest of your life.
And what is that? And can I feed anybody else?
Yes.
How's that work?
Because you lift up your shirt.
You got to show
and
nips.
you say, give me 6 burritos.
You got to show your nipples at every
And
Chipotle.
any amount, unlimited amount.
Yes.
Then yes,
crazy.
1000%.
You wouldn't do that.
Yes, I would. Because what are you talking about? I find myself without a job.
You do have to
I mean,
lift your
Chipotle.
shirt up every time and hold it up.
You would look at yourself.
You know what? I'd get myself wax and I'd get myself like yoked.
Okay, I will say
I'd be
that,
like, I'm doing
as
this
this
for you.
tattoo, I forget I have it all the time. Like when I first got it, all I could see when I would like shower is like, wow, look at that crazy tattoo. Or if I'd see myself in the mirror. Now I don't even, it's invisible. There is no amount of time that would make me feel like the Chipotle across my chest would be invisible. It would be, I would notice it.
I think after a while.
It'd be so much. If I could get the tattoo in a place of my choosing at the size of my choosing.
No, nip to nip.
Nah, I'm not doing it.
That's not that big.
Now, if you're talking other things, like if I got,
You could have parties and cater them.
Could I get it? Now that's a lot. If you were like two meals a day,
Yeah.
then I would be like, yeah.
if I got like a tattoo of rides across my chest and I could get into any theme park in the world
No,
for free,
that's
I would do
childish.
that.
No.
You know what? I don't think I'd even do that. I don't. There's nothing.
Yes, you would.
No, there isn't.
Theme
there
parks for free?
Yeah, but gonna have to have rides across my chest.
What if you? Now here's a real question. I think
There's nothing in the
Chipotle's
world.
one. A singular, just Mickey Mouse over your heart.
Yeah.
You can walk in whenever you want. You can take as many people as you want any day.
I don't
No
think
blackout.
I don't think I could do it.
Really?
I can't get Mickey
You
on me.
need 2 tattoos away from this one. You'll be doing anything for anything.
I just don't think. I just don't want Mickey on me because like that makes it seem like I only like Disney parks, but I like all parks.
Yeah, but you go to Disneyland a lot.
Yeah, because it's my local park. But if I lived near Busch Gardens or Cedar Point, I'd go there. I go to Knott's and Universal as many times as I go to Disneyland.
That can't be true.
It is true.
The more tattoos you get, the less meaning they have. So you need more tattoos, and then like that would be my like 7th or 8th.
You know what? I just thought of one.
Get Mickey, then get Popeye.
I thought of
then
one
get,
thing that
it's the
chest.
Cheerios bee.
I don't. It's the giant chest tat that I can't do.
Could I get it removed and then the deal's off?
Then the deal's off.
But I could.
Yeah.
Getting tattoos removed is apparently really good now. Like it's like really.
Yeah, they're much better at it than they used to be.
I would probably get some sort of Laker logo tattooed on me if I got courtside seats for.
You don't get that.
Or I would do Dodger tattoo.
You don't get that.
Oh, that'd be easy though. I would get a Dodger tattoo.
Yeah, because it's just LA.
Okay. Hey, it's been such a treat. If you'd like to reach out to us, once again, feel free to call that number, email that email.
Or guess what? Now you can send us something in the mail. What? Why are you laughing?
Your face got so illuminated there.
Do you want to send us something in the mail? We have a P.O. Box.
Well,
It
that's
is
exciting.
P.O. Box Watcher Entertainment 1465 Tamarind Avenue, P.O. Box number 478, Hollywood, California 90028.
How exciting.
If you want to send us something, we'll look at it.
If you haven't, give the show a rating over on your podcast app of choice. Give it a subscribe. Chime off in the comments if you got anything to say to us.
Yeah.
Over on YouTube. And again, if you wanted to watch these ad free, you can head over to Watcher TV, where we post these free of ads, which is fun.
I do want to ask you something.
What do you got, Ryan?
This episode's free of ads, period.
Oh,
I was listening to an interview with Adam Scott recently for
Yeah.
Severance, and they were asking him like how he differentiated his character that's an outie versus an innie.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that the direction they took was just to play them as the same guy, but just different personas. Like kind of like how like if you go to dinner with your parents or your someone like people who are older than you.
Sure.
That's different than your persona would be if you're like hanging out with your buddies.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about you.
Yeah.
And I feel like what makes you unique to me is that I feel like you are pretty much the same persona in any situation.
Yes. I can agree
And I
with
think
this.
that's why you feel very unique and one of one. Because I have different personas. Like there's a sporty side of me if I'm like with all like basketball folks, or if I'm like playing video games, or if I'm talking movies.
Well, yeah, but I think the thing you guys don't know is that because if anytime you've been around me, I'm surrounded by at least one friend. I'm a very shy person when I'm not around other people. That I know that I have like.
Oh, I was about to say if you're not around other people, then.
Well, no, I mean like if I'm on my own or if like even sometimes Sarah. If I've got Sarah with me, I feel pretty good. In terms of like speaking to other people, I feel buoyed. But for if I'm alone, like at a thing, which I'm rarely anymore. Like I can't think of the last time, but I am by my nature a very shy person.
Yeah. Well, it just made me curious because I was like, if Shane got severed, I feel like he would be pretty similar in the inside as he would be to the outside.
Wouldn't we all?
I think I would be pretty different because I'm pretty heavily influenced by my environment.
I don't know.
What I'm saying is like I'm trying to figure out why your brain fascinates me so much. And I think that's part of the reason why is that you are unflappable. And what I'm saying is a compliment.
I appreciate it.
Where I'm as flappable as they get. I'm flapping away. Anyways,
you're yapping away. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, there's something to think about.
Well, it's been a treat. We'll see you next week, everybody.